All right, everybody, welcome. This afternoon, we're having a kind of a brief conversation with Master Cortes. We've got some exciting things going on with him, the Ultimate Warriors Association, and some things coming out of Korea with the World Musa Federation. I probably butchered that, but he'll talk about that a little bit better. So, Master Cortes, what is the Ultimate Warriors Association? Can you tell me about that a little bit?
Yes, of course, Shin. Okay, this is a new international association that was funded to try to find a different way to teach martial arts. Um, it's an international association because we have schools and representatives in different places in the world, and my idea is that the American Combat Art Federations be our official representative in the United States. Um, so this is the basic idea, and we have different programs that have recognition in Korea too.
Okay. So, I first met you through Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Mhm,
After all the years that you and I have, of all the conversations we've
mhm,
had, we both have trained in Taekwondo, we've trained in Hapkido and the Filipino martial arts. And, moving forward, like when we move forward with this, how are your students address you, and what are you to them? And, how do we call you?
okay, it depends of the style that my students training with me, but uh, anyway, the people used to know me because I I did martial arts all my life. I am I started with when I was 8 years old, and now I am in 50, and uh, all the time, all my life, my friends, my family is all around the martial arts, and the people inside and outside the martial arts know me because I am a honest person with one of the more important words in my life is integrity, and I do the martial arts in the same way.
Yeah, I know that, for me, and, I'm looking at all these questions, and I think we're going to have to make this a multi-part conversation. But one of the things I wanted to, ask and tell all our listeners is, for me, I know why I got involved with, the martial arts. And, for me, it was about learning how to defend myself. And then later, as I, joined the military, it was about like really making those self-defense skills more reactive to things that I would do in combat. So, but kind of tell us what kind of drew you to the combined combat arts, and how did you combine them and all of that? Share with us.
Yeah, of course. Okay, like I said before, I started with the martial arts so young, at 8 years old. Um, in Argentina, I am from Argentina, so in Argentina is the history of the martial art is too similar to the United States. Some Korean and Japanese masters immigrate, sorry, to Argentina and start to teach. And in the beginning, all are karate, okay, Chinese karate, Korean karate, and because karate was the most popular name, so I started to train karate, and later changed to Korean karate, that nowadays is Taekwondo. I become pretty good in Taekwondo. So when I was 17, 18 years old, I become member of the Argentina national team and represent my country
Yeah, I was
around the
going to put
world.
you on the spot with that and say,
Yeah,
weren't you on the national team?
yeah. But for many years, I was training in our Olympic training center in Argentina, but it's just for competition. It's just for sport, Olympic Taekwondo. But because I really like the martial arts, I used to cross train with other instructors and other competitors from different styles, like full contact kung fu, sanshou, sanda, and kickboxing, Muay Thai, and many times they strike me in the face with the punches and things
Yeah.
like that because I was really good and really faster with my legs because I did Olympic Taekwondo, but I start to see that in my style was pretty good for competition for sport, but not so good for real fight
Yeah.
for self
Yeah.
defense. And unfortunately, my country. It's not like the United States. You have a lot of violence in the streets, many fights. Um, so I need to use the martial arts many times in real situations, and I need to learn more things. So I started to mix my taekwondo with other styles like hapkido in the beginner, later jiu-jitsu, and anything that was good for me to improve my skills. I start to do it.
That's, I kind of did the same thing. I started with Taekwondo and a little bit of Hapkido. And then when I joined the Army, there were a lot of guys in my basic training unit who did the Filipino martial arts. And I was just getting, really thrashed because, I didn't have the level or the range or the ability to deal with weapons because it just wasn't taught. And that's one of the things that drove me to learn those different styles, and weapons as well, was so that I could defend myself more, appropriately against weapons. So we talked about that, and you said, Taekwondo and Hapkido and other things. Would you mind, kind of sharing with us and brag on yourself a minute and kind of just tell us, what you're accredited in and what, the system or the organization and the rank that you hold, so that we can, so that when I share with, the people in the American Combat Arts Federation and people that I train defensive tactics with, I want them to know that, all these different organizations, internationally, that you represent and what rank you hold with them. Would you mind bragging on yourself a minute?
No problem. Mainly, I am an international master instructor in two different martial arts. Taekwondo. I am an A degree black belt in Taekwondo, and I am recognized. Or I was promoted an A degree for Grandmaster Yusun Lee. That he was one pioneer in the International Taekwondo Federation, and my A degree to uh, is recognized too by the International Taekwondo Federation headquarters in Korea. And my second mastership is in Jiu-Jitsu. I am a 7 degree coral belt from Ivan Gomez Jiu-Jitsu. That is one uh, traditional and style, no sport style of BJJ. It's more
Yeah.
for real fight and mixed martial arts, you know. But like I said before, I was many years in the Argentina national team, and that gives to me the chance to travel around the world and to meet a lot of masters and to have access to uh, other styles and martial arts that there are no in Argentina. So I have to the chance to train Filipino martial arts and Muay Thai, for example, and I cross train with people from Krav Maga and of course judo and Japanese full contact karate. So I have a background with a couple of black belts in other styles too. And the interesting thing is that uh, when I was when I have 25 years old, I start to work for the Argentina Navy too, and I was there for 22 years teaching for the Marine Corps in Argentina, and I was working with the bodyguards of the president. It's like the
Wow.
Secret Service in the United States, and I trained a lot of police apartments and many things. So all the background that I had in martial arts, uh, I use and mix with the military techniques
Mm.
of close combat
Yeah.
to
So I have to ask, right? With all of those very knowledgeable and very um, very broad background of master instructors and grandmasters.
Mhm.
Who's your favorite? Just two. Who's your
Oh,
favorite?
yes, probably I have two mentors, I could say. That one of is my Taekwondo master. His name is Grandmaster Isok Won. He he's an old school Taekwondo master. He's nowadays he's 9 degree from Kukiwon, of course, but when he was 4 degree of Mudok Kwan before the martial art had the name Taekwondo. When Mudok Kwan still was in Tang Sudo, he was a 4 degree. And then when Korea started with the movement about to have a national martial art and part of the Mudok Kwan become member of the Korean Taekwondo Association. He was one of of that masters, and he was one of um, the father of the Mudokwan in my country. And I grew with him, and he was like a father for me because I share with him no just martial arts. Practically I was living with him all the day in the school, and I helped him with his children in the school and translate because he didn't know in the beginning to speak Spanish, so I have to help with the family and documents and many things. So we had a really close relation. And in grappling arts, of course, my mentor was Grandmaster Jose Gomez, that he is the brother of the great Ivan Gomez. He uh, probably the most important fighter in Brazil, but unfortunately he died so young, and not
Yeah.
many people knows about his history. And now, I am living in Europe, in Spain, and the life is changing all the time. And the one of the son of the Ivan Gomez is training with me here.
Oh, you told me about that. That's so amazing.
Yeah, and so I am close to the family too.
Okay, so I want to get to the Warrior Association that we briefly talked about before. Okay,
Yes.
so what's the story behind that? We know that from everything that we've talked about before, and anybody that's in the martial arts now, they know that their martial art or their system, they know that it's sport oriented, or whether it's Olympic style or it's tournament style for jujitsu, or it's a combat only oriented style. So please take a moment and share with us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, like you said, in my opinion, the martial arts, no matter if are grappling arts or striking arts, but I like to separate in three different groups. okay, you have traditional martial arts that just keep the traditions and ceremony and something like more spiritual side of the martial arts. Then you have sport and competitions martial arts, like you say, that focus mainly on in the rules for the tournament. Okay,
Right.
so that is the reason, because probably judo is the best style for takedowns, because if you do a good takedown and your opponent fall down in his or her back, you
Ipan. Yeah,
won
that's it.
exactly. And boxing is the best in striking with the hands, because it's the only thing that they use. So sport it's very good, but sometimes just use the techniques that are good for getting the match. Then you have other martial arts that are um, focused in the self-defense aspect and in the combat aspect.
Yep.
So, you know, in the beginning, the martial arts was for the war, for combat.
Yep.
And nowadays, because we have a lot of sports and the competition, and for all the countries, it's important to have medals, to have, you know, it's politics too.
Yeah,
So
it really
uh,
is.
yes, and sometimes the we forgot the main reason, because we need to practice and to train martial arts is for to save the life and the life of your family. And all the other things are okay. The traditions and the sport side of the martial art, but I think it's just one small part of all what the martial art is. So the my intention, my idea with the Ultimate Warriors Association is to back to the origin of the martial art, the original reason, because we need to learn martial arts. So in our association, we developed two different systems of martial arts. One is Taekwondo, but trying to back to the original way to do Taekwondo. You know, one shoot, one kill, something
Right.
like that.
Yep.
And the tradition, no just train for physical training for win a medal. And
Really
uh,
focused on, the street self-defense and combat. Yes.
exactly,
Right,
exactly.
right.
And that is, in my opinion, if you are black belt in any martial arts, you need to have the possibility to protect yourself.
Yes.
And this is the reason, because and because we have people that like more striking arts, and other people that feel more comfortable with grappling arts, we develop two different systems. One is an striking art, like traditional taekwondo, and other is more similar to the mixed system or integrate system of martial arts that focus mainly in the grappling, but without forget the striking art. You know, it's more focusing grappling, but with the striking too. This is the other system that we call Musul Kyok Tu Ki. That Musul, the translation is martial arts, and Kyok Tu Ki is combat. So martial arts for combat. And the reason because we use Korean names is because we have the support of one international federation that the name is World Musa Taekwondo Federation, that have the headquarters in Korea too, and they will support our international association and our program.
So I know that when we had talked earlier about the World Musa Taekwondo Federation, and then how it's going to integrate with our two systems, right? And the UWA internationally, and then particularly here for me, the American Combat Federation in the United States, the World Musa Taekwondo Federation, they will essentially provide certification and backing, if you will, for our curriculum, right?
Yes. Yes.
The possibility of the distance training, black belt certification, both in the two systems we have, and additionally from Korea. Is that what?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then with their full endorsement, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty incredible. I really like that. Is there anything else that you could tell us about the partnership with the World Musa Taekwondo Federation and the UWA that you forged?
Okay. Yes. I met with the president of the World Musa Taekwondo Federation. I am so close to him because he's Korean, but he grew in Argentina too. Now he's a businessman, so he traveled around the world. Um, we have a really good relation, and he's doing a great job with the develop of traditional martial arts. And other thing is that the World Musa Taekwondo Federation is not just a taekwondo federation; it's a martial arts federation, and that gives the opportunity to schools that are not in the Olympic movement to have connections with Korea too. And I am talking about not just uh, taekwondo, about hapkido, dang sudo, shibalki, or any other style of Korean martial arts. We are planning to do together with the World Musa Taekwondo Federation travels, study travels to Korea, tours to Korea to train with different masters. Um, uh, there are a lot of things that we will do together, and that World Musa Taekwondo is doing right now, working with other countries, especially in South America, and now with my help, they are starting in Europe too.
This is, I'm very excited about the prospects of all of this, because while I love everything about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and, and the grappling aspects. I love everything that there is about the traditional arts as well. And so then the opportunity to participate in a program where I get to do all of them in one system is very exciting to me. I know that we're getting close to the end of our time for this first installment of the video interview. Is there anything that you would like to say as we close out the interview?
Oh no, just say thank you, and like you say, we know each other, and I really trust in you, and I think that you are the perfect person to take our organization in the United States and do that the organization grow, and to help other instructors to find the right place to be success, and not just with I'm not talking about just the technique, because we are we want to do that the people grow in all the aspects of their life, economic aspects, to feel good with something. Some people say, okay, I did martial arts all my life, but later they have to go to work to other place
Yeah.
because if they teach something, they don't know. They don't know how
They don't know how to
to
do
grow
anything
the
else.
school. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So we want to give support to grow in the business too, and how to do that. The all works.
So everyone, I thank you for joining us today on our first installment. Please look forward to part two. I will include email and contact information for both myself and Master Cortes, where you can find follow-up information on all the things that we're doing. If you have any questions, hit us up. Again, thank you for this interview, following along with us as we kind of really get to the bottom of all the good things that are coming along with us. Master Cortes, I appreciate you being with me today, and I look forward to part two. Goodbye,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, and we see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.